Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ms. Hanisa, and I'm here to give the feedback for the formative assessment for Unit of Inquiry 2, and this is Ayman's work. So how this feedback works is that I will show you this poster, and side by side, I will also show you the checklist that I have included in your formative assessment paper. So let's start. Let's go to E, content knowledge. Number 1, I was able to choose one product. Here, we can clearly see that Ayman chose a football, so it's a yes. Next, I contributed important ideas about the properties of matter of the chosen product. So here, if we look at this poster, and when we read the poster, I see that Ayman has written down a few descriptions about a football. So it's made of leather and rubber, it's light in weight and recyclable. However, to explain the properties of materials, I want you to remember the video that we watched here. The video about the 3 little pigs. Alright, so all of the vocabularies and scientific words that you can find in this video should be used in your poster. For example, I know that a football is waterproof, right? So we have the word waterproof here. So we can use this word in the poster. What else? I know that a football is tough. Okay, so I'm not going to say, although the word hardness is written here, I'm not going to say a football is hardness. That's not proper English. To explain that a football is hard, we use the words like tough. Alright, you can even use this small description here and paraphrase it into your own sentence. For example, a football has the ability to withstand scratches when footballers use it on the field. Okay, and lastly, you can use something like this, maybe electrical conductivity. Now, from my knowledge, I know that footballs do not allow electricity to pass through it. So instead of being a conductor, it is an insulator. All right, so I can see that a football is an insulator or an electrical insulator. So I would like Ayman to put these 3 things. All right, waterproof, tough, insulator. All right, and also explain in 1 or 2 lines what does it mean to be waterproof, what does it mean to be tough, what does it mean to be an insulator. So I'm not looking just for these 3 words, but also a short explanation. Right, next we have key concepts, form and change. Number 1, I can clearly identify at least 3 properties and or changes of matter in the chosen product. If we look at Ayman's poster and scroll down to the bottom, we see one change of matter, which is from which is from liquid to solid. Now this is fine. However, this checklist is asking for 3 examples. So if you include this, then you would have already fulfilled this part. Okay, so you need to have at least 3 properties of matter, properties of materials, and changes of matter. You can choose either one, or you can put in both. That would be better, so that I can see clearly your understanding of this unit. So you could use this. Okay, writing these down will already mean that you've managed to tick this part off of your list. All right, now next we have, I can explain about the changes that the material goes through using scientific vocabulary. Ayman has written down some description right here, which is perfect. Okay, it gives you an understanding of where the materials in the football comes from, and here he is focusing on rubber. So rubber comes from the rubber tree that produced the latex milk, which is in liquid form, and in the factory they mix the rubber and other chemicals to make a football. Now, as I said, this is good, but in the checklist they would like you to use scientific vocabulary. So Ayman, you will have to write down a sentence using the words liquid and solid. Alright, so for example, okay, rubber starts out as a liquid in the form of latex milk. Alright, and you will also have to use the same scientific vocabulary in this description. So you can see something like the latex milk is then converted into a solid by mixing chemicals, which then provides the materials to make a football. Okay, Now, moving on, we have section C, ATL skills, research skills. I can formulate questions for my research. I am able to analyze the information collected and record my observations through drawing or annotating images. Let's have a look at what Ayman has done here. All right. Do we see any questions here? I personally don't see any questions. However, when we research about a material, a topic like this, I believe that naturally we have a lot of questions. If I ask you, how do we make a football? No one will know unless you're someone who actually works in the factory or makes a football. You will have so many questions about how or what it takes to make a football. So Ayman, to make it easy for you, I just want you to add one question here. Okay, I'm going to write it immediately just for the sake of this example. Okay. How is leather made? All right. Now, by writing this question in your poster, it gives me a very clear understanding of what your research question is. This may not be your only research question, but it's one of the many, and it gives me an example of one of the research questions you've asked. So this makes it easy for me to understand that, oh, okay, this is your question, and this is the answer that you have found from your research. All right. The other thing that I would like to remind all of you, and this is something we discussed in Unit of Inquiry 1, is to include images or pictures in your poster or in your slides. Now you see here, okay, we have this graphic of a football, but again, this is a graphic. This is something that is designed. I would like to see an image. All right, and what does an image look like? Right here. Yes. So you see this? These are videos of people like actually cutting into footballs. You can do a screen grab of what they found in a football. You can actually find a picture. Yeah, you can find a picture online, okay, something like this. However, if the football that you're talking about in your poster doesn't actually look like this, you can do more research and try to find a picture. Or if you think that it's taking too much time, for this unit, I will give you a chance to put in a graphic, but it has to be labeled like this. Yes, so this is obviously not a picture. It's not a real picture. It's a made-up picture. It's a drawn picture. Okay, it's a graphic. So you can use this as long as you have these labels. You see, Ayman, this is made easy for you because this person has labeled it, and if you scroll down, you have even more graphics of footballs with the labelings. All right, you can use any of these as long as you know how to explain each of these labels. So you can use this in your poster instead of just a graphic of a football. Please give me a labeled graphic or a labeled picture. All right, let's have a look next. So I'm going to comment here. Write a research question. Can you write more than one research question? Of course, definitely. However, you have to provide the answer for that research question. Next, add a label, graphic, or picture. Now, we've come to the last part of the feedback or the checklist, which is your thinking skills. I am able to use visible thinking strategies such as mind mapping my task, and I can explain about the product chosen using my own words. I'm going to go to number 2 first and give him a yes. Okay, give Ayman a yes because he has used his own words. However, for number 1, when I looked at his poster, I noticed one diagram that looked like a mind map, and which is this one right here. Okay, so we have a football in the middle, we have some arrows and some words here. Now, this is already good, but I want you to improve on it a little bit more, Ayman, by writing down or rather including the 3 parts of a mind map, which is number 1, a title in the middle, number 2, a subtitle here, and also number 3, a description. If I go here, I can already see a description for this subtitle, okay? All right, you describe bladder, okay? Under this subtitle, made of leather and rubber, but for this and this there are no descriptions, so I need you to add a bit more of a description right here. Okay, and I also need you to add a title in the middle. It could be what are the materials of a football, how do we make a football, or what's in a football, something that's fun and catchy. Okay. Now, speaking of these subtitles, I would also like you to change these, all right, into these 3 properties. that we talked about. So do you have to completely remove the word recyclable or light in weight? No, you don't have to. But I want you to rephrase everything and focus on what you need from the checklist in this mind map. All right. Now, before I end this feedback session, I would like to give another 2 comments. Number 1 is on the title of the poster. Now, this is something we discussed in Unit of Inquiry 1. When you have a poster, and you can have a look at the one here, right here, okay? And you would like people to pay attention to your poster or read your poster, which is the purpose of a poster, okay, to grab someone's attention. You need a very big, huge, clear title. So Ayman has written down the title football here, which is fine, but I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to put it to the side, and Ayman, I want you to add a few more words here. It's not just going to be football. It can be something like what or rather how are footballs made. Okay, I want you to add a few more words, and I want you to make the font bigger like this, so that when people look at the poster at first glance, they know what this poster is about already, although they don't know the details. Number 2, and this is something very important we will discuss in school later, is your referencing. So I know that you have done a lot of research here, Ayman. You have found a lot of information about how football is made. What I want you to do is add a page. All right, for now, this is how we're going to reference our work. We're going to add a text box. Okay, and now I'm going to give you an example of a video that I found on YouTube, and I want to use the contents of the video as part of my references in my work, because that's how I learned how football is made. So this is an example, just an example. Okay, Ayman? This is one of the videos that I found while researching on how footballs are made. And just a side tip for you guys, if you want to know whether or not the YouTube channel is legitimate, the information is accurate, try to look for this small tip right here. It's not like the most perfect way to know that this website is accurate, or this is the best website or the best YouTube channel for you to find out how things are made, but it's already a good enough indicator to tell you that, okay, this website gives you accurate information, although it's not completely in detail. Okay, so let's say I want to reference this video. I'm going to copy this title, go back to my poster, and I'm going to write down where I found the video. I'm going to write down the title of the video, and then I'm going to copy the link and put it here so that my teacher knows where to find it. I'm also going to format it a little bit so that it's not just in the middle of the way and in such large fonts. So I'm going to align it to the left and make it smaller, maybe font 50, font 40. That's nice. Okay, so it looks, this reference page, it should look more like a document rather than a poster. Okay, and that's totally fine because it's not actually part of the poster. These are just your references. All right, so there you have it, guys. This is my feedback for Ayman. Please have a look at this, or rather listen to this video. I hope everyone does, so that when we come back to school tomorrow, we can start working, or rather continue to work on our formative assessment and try to complete it as fast as possible so that we can start presenting next week, or even this week if you're ready. So thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.